Hello everyone and welcome to the video. So today we are talking about an area to watch in the Atlantic. Yes guys, the Atlantic is finally awakening. This season is expected to be a pretty crazy season as what the predictions say. And we do have our first area of interest ever since Barrel. So let's get into that. Okay. So as of right now, this has a 0% chance of formation within the next 2 days, but within the next 7 days, we have a 50% chance of formation. So basically, a medium percent chance of formation within the next 7 days. And as you see here, Florida is in this. So for any Floridians watching this video, don't start freaking out. This isn't something of an immediate threat. So what is going to happen throughout the next couple of days is that the system is going to progressively start getting more organized, and this isn't going to be something really what's the word, crucial until maybe around the later part of this week. So this has a 50% chance. Near the Greater Antilles and the Bahamas, an area of disturbed weather over the central tropical Atlantic Ocean is expected to interact with an approaching tropical wave during the next day or two. Environmental conditions are forecast to become conducive for gradual development thereafter, and a tropical depression could form late this week while the system is in the vicinity of the Greater Antilles or the Bahamas. Interest in the Greater Antilles, the Bahamas, and the southeastern U.S. should monitor the progress of this system. So that includes Florida and basically anywhere within maybe Florida all the way to the Carolinas. Could this get into the Gulf? Way too far to tell out now. But this could definitely be a situation worth watching. Let me pull up the models real quick. All right. Let me pull up the models. So, as you see here, this is the GFS model. Whoops. This is the GFS model. So, let's go to the North Atlantic one. So, as you see here, this is the wave. This is the wave somewhere over here around the MDR. The thing about this system and why this isn't really developing as of now is because there is a lot of wind shear and dry air as well. And what's crucial about this system, what is crucial is this high pressure located right here. This will determine where the storm moves, how it will move, and which direction it will be going, and when will it make that north turn. It could be anywhere. It could steer into the Gulf. It could steer into Florida, or it could scrape the southeastern coast, which is also on the cards. Anything is on the cards. Anywhere within the coastal United States should definitely watch this system. So let's look. Let's break this down. So, as you see here, around 60 hours, this storm is starting to develop, and this is the GFS model. And as you look here, it's not really developing anything from this model, which is definitely good news. But something does get into the Gulf of Mexico. So definitely, everything is on the cards here. Things that are not guaranteed are definitely placement and intensity, because definitely these storms within the past couple of years have definitely surprised us in intensity a lot. So let's look at the Euro model. Why? All right. So let's look here. Maybe around the 36 hour, this starts really developing, and around August 1st, it starts to get near Puerto Rico, and then around August 2nd, it starts getting its act together. And then now we have a low pressure system, an area of concentrated low pressure. And as you see here, this is just scraping the coast of Florida, going up the coast, and kind of just residing there before making that northerly turn. So this all depends on the high pressure right here, which will really be a major factor on where this storm heads and makes that northern turn. Because it could be anywhere. This could be a fish storm, or this could be a southeastern storm. This could be a storm that could get in the Gulf of Mexico. And let me warn you, water temperatures in the Gulf of Mexico are really high. So let me pull up the sea surface temperatures if I could find them. So yeah, this storm is something to definitely watch. But nothing is really guaranteed as of yet on where it's gonna head. I'm trying to look for the sea surface temperatures if I could find them. I don't think I can find them though. It's fine. But things you need to know is that definitely the waters are really warm within the Western Caribbean and in the Gulf of Mexico. And waters are over here in the Atlantic are also really warm too. So that is something that we also need to really keep an eye on is water temperatures, because water temperatures, the hotter the temperatures, the more that these storms intensify and at a quicker rate, which is obviously the term rapid intensification. So for this area in particular, this is a moderate watch situation. It's not a high watch situation because you don't really know what's going to happen because this is also really far out. This is later in the week, but enough for you to really grab your attention. So, this is a European model. Now let's look at some other miscellaneous models. Let's look at the Canadian model. As you see here, within 36 hours, it starts getting its act together. Um, Same thing with the GFS. Not really getting a lot of intensity, but it's doing what the Euro's done and pushing it a little more to the east. And then once it swerves off to the east, it finally gains intensity. Sorry. And there we go. And then a model that's actually surprised me because it's been really accurate within the last couple of months, especially with the forecast of Hurricane Beryl. So, um, same thing around the 36 hour, around July 31st is when it's really going to start getting its act together, and we could possibly have a tropical depression by maybe the later night of July 31st, which is obviously later this week. August 1st, you see that the system's trying to get its act together. A little bit disrupted because maybe it's hit the islands, which can really affect the strength of hurricanes and just tropical systems in general. And boom, a pretty uh, a pretty structurally intact storm. Especially with how high the pressure is, which is actually kind of crazy. You see 1010, 1009. This system is getting really close to Florida. Like really close. It's just hugging the coast of Florida. And this model doesn't really extend that far. So that's really all that we need to know as of right now when it comes to models. So let's stop. And then let's go to the National Hurricane Center, which definitely let's look at it. So over here, this is the system. It's located right here. Yeah, an area of disturbed weather. So as you see here, it's going to be making its way through maybe the Caribbean, and then over there, once it's like a little north of Puerto Rico, it's finally going to start gaining its strength and gaining its structural integrity, and then it's really gonna start just ramping up from there. Uh, Something that is a little unfortunate. This is not an invest yet. So once we get that invest, we will start getting spaghetti models, which is something that is really crucial when it comes to the forecasting of hurricanes. So, yep, as you see, it's just going to be making its way. It can make its turn here, it can make its turn here, and it can make its turn into the Gulf of Mexico, which would probably be a pretty bad situation because of how warm the waters are. If it made its way to Florida, it would also be a pretty worst case scenario as well, um, because waters there are also really warm. The whole entire Atlantic is warm, which is really what is making me a little worried about the system because we don't know what the intensity is going to be, especially in the past recent years when these tropical systems have been forecasted to be weak, and then they've kind of just blown up in intensity. Like Otis last year, it was forecasted to be, I think, around a category 1 when it made its way to Acapulco, and boom, it just made it all the way to a 5 within 24 hours, which still bamboozles me. But definitely not something we want to see, especially with water temperatures like this. So let's just hope, especially with all the wind shear that is making its way into that system, which will probably hinder the development just a little bit. So yeah, it'll make its way somewhere around this area around the later part of this week, and then we don't know what's going to happen next. So let's stop and then let's go into some of the ensembles. So this is the European. So as you see, most of the models are more concentrated in turning the storm to more east. But some of these stray models over here are getting this near Florida and some even into the Gulf. That's why you never really know with these sort of systems. So let's look at the GFS. All right. All right, so let's look at the GFS model. So the GFS model ensembles, let's put the loop on. So as you see here, it's a little more scattered because the GFS is really unsure about like the intensity of the system, if it even becomes a system at all. But as you see, there's some stray models that are getting this near Florida. One even making it around tropical storm intensity. Just a lot of uncertainty as of now, which is probably why the area of interest is like so big and in such a vast area. Because if you look at the cone, well, it's not really a cone yet. It's a big area. This can be a fish storm. This could go near Florida. This could make its way into the Gulf. It's uncertain, which is exactly why we need to really keep our eyes on this storm as it makes its way into words brain fart. As it makes its way into the just around the Bahamas. Damn, I don't know what happened there. I'm a little tired, guys. Sorry. All right, so let's look at radar Omega just to get a better look at this. So let's talk about also this that's happening just as a little sideshow right now. Current weather that's currently going on right now as I'm uploading this video. We do have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings that are in place right now. One near winter. Tornado possible with this one too. 80-mile-an-hour winds. So these storms are actually getting pretty gnarly here in South Dakota. So wow. Look at that. Okay. So yeah, severe thunderstorm watch, slight risk upon both areas. But besides that, let's get back to our main story here. So let's look. All right, there we go. These are the sea surface temperatures. Wait, whoops, sea level pressure. Not what I wanted. Where are the sea surface temperatures? I mean, let's look at this then. You see, we have consistent 80s over here. Whoops. Consistent 80s, which is more than enough for hurricane development or just tropical storm or even tropical depression, just any sort of development in this area and in the Gulf of Mexico. It is steaming in here. 86, 85. Um, and especially within the Western Caribbean as well. Just a lot of really hot waters within anywhere in the Atlantic as of right now, which is basically just making this a melting pot, just really, really conducive for any sort of development. Let's look at the winds in this. Let's just see uh, the GFS. The GFS actually isn't the best model when it comes to this system because of its pretty low intensity. So let's see this. All right, so let's look at the euro. All right, so this is around August 1st. Some pretty nasty winds in the Bahamas, according to the model, because of that storm. And then it just makes its way into North Carolina and all of these surrounding places. So definitely, it's unfortunate that this thing is not an invest yet, because then we could use the HWRF models and the HMON models, which are made specifically for hurricanes. So yeah, that's it. Uh, that's it when it comes to this. Let's just take a quick peek at the Eastern Pacific. Wow, this system 70-90. Wow, it was 30-70 when I last checked this. This thing is gonna be a monster. Water temperatures are actually surprisingly warm in the Eastern Pacific too, probably because we're shifting from an El Nino to a La Nina. So maybe that leftover really hot temperatures are also in the Eastern Pacific as well. Everything is hot. Everything is hot. All right, so I'm pretty sure this is a system right there. Just that concentrated area of circulation, maybe around there. Pretty sure it's around there. You can't really tell because there's not a lot of convection with the storm. Because what it's saying in the statement is that it's going to interact with an approaching tropical wave. So I don't know where the tropical wave is, but I'm pretty sure it's an area of low pressure where that is going to interact with the tropical wave, and they're going to kind of maybe just merge, and that definitely will make it develop more, and which will uh make it develop. So this is just the main development region. Let's pull up just all the Atlantic basin. So we do have some other tropical waves here as well, just off the coast of Africa. An actual area of low pressure that's actually also here, by the way, as well, which is kind of crazy. This is kind of like a little bit of a nor'easter around this area, which is crazy because it is July. All right, shifting off topic. This is the system, and this is when it's gonna start developing, which is definitely gonna be within the next couple of days. So, yeah, and then we have these tropical waves that are also gonna emerge off the coast of Africa, and we don't know what's gonna happen there as well. But the Atlantic is awakening This is an Atlantic awakening. This season is going to be, unfortunately, pretty unprecedented by what predictions are saying and what it's kind of being shaped up to be. 22 named storms left as of the original, I think 23, 24 that they forecasted. Uh, so yeah, people that are saying, "Oh no, this season's gonna be a flop," just you wait, just you wait. I'm telling you this now. The peak of hurricane season, boom, it's gonna go haywire. So um, that's why we need to watch out with these storms because you never know what they're gonna do. You never know because Mother Nature could be cooking up anything right now. Uh, and that's it for today. Sorry for the lack of activity when it comes to this channel. I will be uploading more frequently now. Uh, and cheers. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Goodbye.